alcohol consumption with Generation Z is trending downwards.
The UK has lost 37% of its clubs, about 10 a month.
3 pubs close in London every week.
A third, 33%, of 18 to 24-year-olds don't drink, boringly in my view.
If you've been online for 5 minutes, you've probably seen more than a few people complaining about the fact that Gen Z doesn't party, doesn't smoke, and spends way too much time complaining about their anxiety on TikTok. But are they the harbingers of the party apocalypse? Or is this generational shift a symptom of something larger? And who will be the unlikely casualty in all of this? Once upon a time, nightlife was booming. First there were the lads and ladettes of the 90s, wearing dayglow, downing pints, and keeping the hacienda firmly in business. Then came the millennial party era. The jeans were tighter, but the drinks were still very much flowing, with Alco-Pop swapped for Jaeger bombs, and questionable decisions that would later be deleted from Facebook. Fast forward to 2025, where everything has changed. Yep, not only have we seen the death of the nightclub, but since 2010, the UK has lost more than half of its clubs, with 405 shutting down since the COVID pandemic alone. That's nearly a 33% decline. And almost half of drinking age Gen Z have never even touched booze. Pubs aren't faring much better, with fewer than 39,000 left across England and Wales after 400 more closed in 2024. And the ones still standing are calling last orders at 11 PM, like they've got work in the morning. When Peggy Mitchell said, "Get out of my pub," I don't think she thought everyone actually would. 1 in 3 younger Britons are socialising less, while in Australia, 71% have cut back on nights out entirely. And in South Korea, the government is so concerned about their hermit-like youth that they're actually offering young people $490 monthly just to get them to leave the house. Maybe it's because they never got used to actually going out in the first place. With dating apps and Snapchat, there's never a reason to leave the house to flirt. And with TikTok, Deliveroo, and Netflix at your fingertips, having a good night in is just a tap away. And while governments scramble to stop this generation from becoming full-blown recluses, whether by pushing brick phones in UK schools or South Korea's attempts to make them go outside, Gen Z seem pretty content with their screens. But why? Well, for starters, it's money. Because, fun fact, it's really expensive to have fun now. The average night out in the UK costs around £73, with London pubs charging as much as £8 for a pint of Guinness, despite a national price of £5.18 for the popular Irish Stout. You could get a Ryanair flight to Spain for that in 2005. And sure, millennials did also have to budget when it came to nights out, but those nights out still cost about half as much as they do today. What boomers and millennials once spent on an entire night out, Gen Z is now blowing on 2 pints and a kebab. Iconic? Maybe. But affordable? Absolutely not. And then we have the health factor. Alcohol-related deaths have risen by 89% in the last 2 decades, with alcohol now costing the NHS and wider society £25 billion a year. Enter Gen Z. This is the generation raised on gym vlogs, protein shakes, and meditation apps. They count their steps, track their sleep, and they don't want to spend £30 on cocktails just to feel like they got hit by a bus the next day. 1 in 5 people now don't even drink at all. And for 18 to 24-year-olds, it's even higher. A third of them are teetotal from alcohol altogether. So, while millennials were all drink and regret, Gen Z is now all about the gym and reset. This change in culture has triggered a boom in low and no alcohol drinks, a market expected to grow 7% year on year between 2022 and 2026 in the UK. Globally, the consumption of no to low alcohol drinks is projected to rise by a third by 2026. In fact, half of the adults in the UK say that they've brought a no to low alcohol product in the last year, and now commands nearly 3% of the UK's entire alcoholic beverage market. So this isn't exactly a niche market. Big brands have caught on too. Gordon's, Peroni and Heineken now advertise all of their 0% offerings with the same weight as they do their alcoholic products. Even Wetherspoons now offers a 0 alcohol menu. That's right, Spoons has gone sober. The messy clubbing era? Out. The wellness era? In. But here's the thing, this isn't bad for bars, clubs, and the entire concept of getting wasted. It's bad for corkscrews? Once upon a time, this little guy was the life and soul of the party. It was a symbol of sophistication, the gatekeeper to bottles of overpriced wine. In 2024 alone, the UK consumed an estimated 1.35 billion litres of wine. That's enough to fill 540 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Yeah, I did do the maths. And yes, I do regret it. But very little of this is consumed by Gen Z alone, with them and millennials together accounting for just 26% of regular wine drinkers, whereas baby boomers alone represent 48% of this entire demographic. I do hear the cork purists already typing, but corks let the wine breathe. Cool, but if you're chugging that wine within 48 hours, do you really need to let it breathe? Gen Z doesn't have £50 to spend on a fancy bottle of Bordeaux. Instead, for those that do drink, they're spending £15 on a bottle of rosé with a twist-off cap. Why? Because student loans exist, and rosé slaps. So, if twist-offs are preferred by Gen Z, can they even use one of our twisty friends?
I never use a corkscrew.
Maybe I don't know how to use these things.
You have to watch the hands go like that.
There we go, then the arms go up. Yes, I've seen this.
Progress.
Oh my god, did I do it?
Oh, there you go. There we go.
We did it. And the hands went up.
Gen Z obviously know how to use a corkscrew. They just don't have to. It's not a lack of skill, it's a lack of necessity. This whole idea that Gen Z is too clueless to open a bottle is just another example of older generations mistaking lifestyle changes for incompetence. The reality is they're drinking less, prioritising their health more, and opting for convenience over traditionally getting wasted. So, is Gen Z really killing fun? Or are they just redefining it? This generation grew up amid a recession, a climate crisis, and about 400 seasons of Love Island. They don't have time for hangovers. They're busy trying to fix the mess that they've inherited, one oat latte at a time. Does anyone have a hammer?